Hey guys, before this video begins, I just wanted to say that most of this video was made back in 2023. Back in 2023, I recorded all the gameplay, wrote the script, and recorded all the audio as well. The only thing I didn't do was edit it together and post it here on the channel. I didn't want to scrap all the work I did on this video, but I do think this is a small step back from the DuckTales and SNES Hidden Gems videos. Anyways, I don't want to ramble on too much, so kind of try to think of this as a lost episode or a lost video of sorts from a past Nintendo. Anyways, I hope you do all enjoy this video. I, like a lot of other retro gamers, am a big fan of Mega Man. In fact, it's one of my favorite video game franchises overall, which is why throughout a good part of this year I've been playing through games in this franchise that I've never played before, like Mega Man X3, Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, which is easily one of the best remakes of all time, and I seriously recommend that you give it a shot, and even more obscure games in the franchise like Mega Man ZX on the Nintendo DS and Mega Man Extreme on the Game Boy Color. It's with that rabbit hole in mind that has led me to discover what has to be one of the least talked about and remembered games in the storied franchise, that being Mega Man Battle Fighters, or I suppose Rockman Battle Fighters, as it was originally known in Japan on the greatly overlooked and often forgotten Neo Geo Pocket Color. Mega Man Battle Fighters is a fighting game where you play as either 3 different characters or 4 different characters depending on which game you play. Yes, you heard that right, this game has 2 games in it, that being Rockman the Power Battle, or Rockman PB for short, and Rockman the Power Fighters 2, or RF2, as I'll be referring to them throughout the video. That might sound like a lot, but the differences between the two are fairly simple. Rockman PB has around 18 Robot Masters to fight and 3 characters to choose from, Mega Man, Proto Man, and Bass, while Rockman PF2 only has 6 Robot Masters to fight, but has 4 characters to play as, those being Mega Man, Proto Man, Bass, and weirdly enough, Duo from Mega Man 8. He seems like such an odd choice to me, as he was only in 2 other games in the series outside of this. I'm glad he's here though, as he is my favorite character to play as in Rockman PF2. Anyways, this is a fighting game, but a very unique take on one, as unlike most fighting games, there are no combos to learn or advanced techniques to pull off like a Hadoken in Street Fighter. Instead, it plays like a Mega Man game, meaning that you shoot with your Mega Buster, and one really cool touch to me is that Mega Man actually has his slide and charge shot in this game. Most games in this franchise skip the slide and charge shot for whatever reason, and it always irks me as they are such useful parts of Mega Man's moveset. You can kind of think of this game as a Mega Man boss rush instead of as a normal fighting game. It doesn't really matter what you classify this game as though, it's just a really fun game. Fighting the Robot Masters is often a big highlight of the Mega Man series, so a game composed entirely of that is somewhat of a treat. Also, just like in the mainline series of games, after you beat a Robot Master, you collect their power, which means that yes, the whole rock, paper, scissors thing is in effect here, meaning that Heat Man is still weak to Bubble Man, and you can take him out fairly easily with Bubble Man's power. Another thing that I like is how each one of the 4 characters have their own slide. Mega Man has the normal one, Proto Man uses his shield and takes less damage from enemies, Bass's dash basically serves to jump straight into the enemy's attack that you're trying to avoid, and for that reason pretty much makes him the worst character to play as in my opinion. Then finally, Duo's is this awesome tackle that can sometimes stun the Robot Masters, which combined with his charge shot or the Robot Master's weakness can do a decent amount of damage. Like I said, Duo is my favorite character in this game to play as, and that's mostly because of how OP he is. One thing about this game is how fairly impressive some of the animations are for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I really like this one where Mad Grinder steamrolls your character and makes them flat as a pancake for a few seconds. That's a fairly impressive effect for the system, as it gives some light 3-dimensional depth to the effect. One problem I have with this game is that there are times when the Robot Masters will walk off screen and attack you. For instance, this fight against Iceman, basically all of his attacks happen off screen, which can make them feel a bit unfair. Thankfully, the pattern for this fight is super easy, but still, I feel like if they had just zoomed out the screen a bit more, this problem could have been avoided entirely. Lastly, I want to mention the story, and well, I have no idea what happens here. All the text is in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese, so I have no clue what they're saying here. I do want to say that a fan translation does exist for this game, however I didn't play it as I wanted to stick to the official release of the game. Also, I just don't really care about the story in any Mega Man game, truthfully speaking. Now for the elephant in the room. Why is this game so forgotten? I've narrowed that down to two main reasons. The first being that this game was initially a Japanese exclusive game on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, a system I previously noted is constantly forgotten and rarely actually discussed in major gaming circles because it didn't sell well at all. It did, however, get re-released in August of 2022 on the Nintendo Switch, which is how I've been playing it for you all today. The second reason being that this game is actually a demake of two arcade games, those being called Rockman the Power Battle and Rockman the Power Fighters. Yes, that's why there are two games in here, because this demakes both of them. Based on everything I've seen of those two games, this actually seems like a really good conversion of them. You can tell that there was a lot of effort put into bringing these games to the system. Overall, I think Mega Man Battle Fighters is a really solid game, as it's very different from a lot of other fighting games. The game can currently be bought off the Nintendo Switch eShop for $8, and I think it's well worth that price. That's gonna do it for today's video though, you guys, so if you like what you saw, please like this video down below, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos in the future, and leave a comment if you have anything you want me to talk about next time. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and until next time, peace.